Well, got our daily 100 in there real quick. Was that a daily 150? What's going on, guys? Motonosity here. Welcome back to the channel. Gorgeous day outside today. I know I like to comment on the weather, but man, when we're getting days that are still incredible like this, as summer is hot on our tails, whew, I gotta enjoy it because, man, I think this summer is gonna be a hot one. It's been quite a few years since we've had a truly like scorching hot summer in Texas. Don't get me wrong, it's been hot, but like I compare everything to the summer that we had back in like, what, 2011, when we had 100 days that were over 100 degrees. That was a hot summer. But yeah, I gotta enjoy a nice day out on the bike. Taking the R1 out today because if you've read the title, which I'm sure you have if you clicked on this video, I think I'm gonna ruffle a few feathers with this one.
Hold up real quick, today's video is sponsored by Hero Wars. Download the game right now from the link down in the description. Hero Wars is an online action RPG where you can find just the right character for you, not just elves, orcs, dwarfs. Want to be a cyborg, alien, vampire? Go for it. You're constantly unlocking new ones as you play. This guy Chava is an absolute unit, and Celeste is straight up Ice Queen on steroids with a dark and light form that makes her pretty useful in any situation. There's no equal to Hero Wars, and while it's super easy to start playing, it becomes an absolute art form the deeper you get into the game as you assemble the perfect team of heroes. Like Mojo the Shaman can't heal Darkstar the Elf quite like Grandma Martha over here, while the slower Cleaver makes a great pair with the swift Isaac. Hero Wars is a world of 6 unique mods, more than 300 Guild Wars servers, and 100 million players. Play alone or become top dog amongst your friends. Join the game now and get a super chest with 5 top heroes, one of them secret, as well as 600 emeralds and 30,000 gold. Scan this QR code or download the game from the link in the description. Thanks again to Hero Wars for sponsoring the video. Let's get back to it.
Which way should we go today? Which way? Oh, little handless downshifts. I think we'll take a little back route today, which means I gotta move over. Thank you. What was that? What was that? Why did it just cut power? Oh, okay. I bet it's because of gas. That's my guess, because I do need gas, which means I'm gonna get it right now. We are not gonna run out of gas today, sir. Gas price is back on the rise, to the point where I fill up the R1, I'm like, man, am I filling up my car? It cost me over $20 to fill up my bike. Oh, thank you. Oh, nope, never mind. It's like, yay, Apple Pay, but I didn't put on my watch. I like how it's 2022 and it's like, look at us. We accept chip cards, even though they've existed for like a decade. $5 a gallon. I know, I'm sorry. You guys that are in other countries or in California, you're probably, what, like $7 for premium? We're at $10. We're at $15. Oh, no, we're not going to make it. Fill it up to the metal ring. And $20.34. Yowza. But yeah, it kept cutting power at like 12,000 RPM. My only guess is that it was because I was low on fuel. It was like, sorry, we can't give you that much fuel right now. Yeah, because it didn't do it that time. Can you complain about that sound? Is there anyone that doesn't like that sound? But yeah, as you can see from the title, I believe that leader bikes are best for the street. And there's a couple different ways that you can say this, and I'm kind of saying both of them. I believe that they're the best bike for the street. And 2, I believe leader bikes themselves are better for the street than the track. Which is funny because what do they say about leader bikes? Go ahead, say it with me. It's too much power for the street. Which is kind of ironic because I think that people who are serious about the track, in like an amateur capacity, I'm not talking about professional racers or anything like that, I think they'd rather ride not a leader bike on a track than a leader bike. Most of the guys that I see that do a lot of track days, they're riding either 600s or like 300, 400 class bikes. Every time I ride past this little place and I see these cars out here, I'm like, man, why don't they restore these? So I've been riding leader bikes since 2013. Bought my first leader bike, a 2009 R1 in 2013, and I love them. You guys know that I had an R6 before that, and then I went back to an R6 when the 2017 R6 came out. Kept the R1 for a little bit, but I was planning on selling it, and then I went back to a leader bike. And I kind of knew that I was going to, just because I love having leader bikes. And my primary issue with my 2009 R1 was just how heavy it was. You know, I bought it when I was still commuting on the highway to work, and I would commute on my R1. But then in 2017, I was already doing YouTube full time. I wasn't commuting long distance anymore. And so, you know, a heavy leader bike wasn't as enjoyable as it had been. And obviously all the new leader bikes are much lighter. I honestly don't think that I'm ever gonna buy less than a leader bike for a sport bike. Again, I really don't. I get more enjoyment out of the leader bike class, and I think it's better fitted for my riding on the street. You know, if you want just like a weekend warrior, you got a lot of twisties around you, I can see that like very small niche being something that fits people better. But for like, if I were to average out the sport bike rider that's been riding for enough time where they're fine with a leader bike, I think a leader bike is a better fit than a 600 for them on the street. I think that added weight is just nicer. When I say it's the best bike for the street, I don't necessarily say that it's the best bike, period. But for someone who wants a sport bike, I think that a leader bike is the best fit just because of how it rides. You know, you're trying to find a balance with something that you enjoy and something that's comfortable to ride. And sport bikes aren't the most comfortable bikes to ride on the street. Obviously, a cruiser would be something much more comfortable to ride on the street. But that's why I actually really liked my R1 for commuting, because I had my fast bike. Because of its weight, it was still really nice to commute on because I wasn't getting blown around on the highway by semis, which, you know, you're around a lot here in Texas, especially when you're riding I-35. And where their power band is, you know, they make a lot more torque down low than a 600 does. You're riding on the highway on a 600 and you're screaming at a lot higher RPM than you are on a leader bike. It's just a little bit more enjoyable. The feel that you have on a leader bike, just cruising, is a lot more satisfactory to me than cruising on a 600. And that's why I say, if I were to average out all of the riders of motorcycles, for sport bike riders, someone who wants a sport bike, I think a leader bike fits a lot better, because the vast majority of the riding that you're going to be doing is going to be in a more steady state, if you will. And again, if you got twisties, if you're just going out as a weekend warrior and you're, you know, going out for an hour or two and really pushing the bike to its max, I can see the 600 fitting more for you. But I think that niche is so small, someone needing that specific of a bike and riding for that short amount of time, I think just way smaller than the number of people that want a sport bike to ride on the street. But back to the point of street versus track, I really think when you factor in the people that are, you know, riding track a lot and the type of bike that they're looking for, I think that the leader bikes have a much better home on the street. And I've made this point before when I've talked about 600s versus leader bikes, but when you're getting to that class, both of them can go fast. You know, when you're talking about too much power for the street, too much speed for the street, a 600 can do pretty much everything that a leader bike can do, except for like 20 miles per hour on the top. Yeah, the leader bike gets there just a little bit faster, but like in the grand scheme of things, both of the bikes are getting themselves in illegal territory, you know, in a pretty much the same amount of time. Like what I did just there, aside from like being able to do it in 4th gear at 5,000 RPM without really even thinking about it, a 600 would do the same thing. By the way, if you guys want to get any of my Daily 100 merch or any of the other merch that I still have, don't forget that I'm offering 40% off of everything because I'm trying to save some space because we're moving soon. So use the code MOVING40 on my website, motonosity.com, link down in the description, and grab yourself some merch. Now's the time to do it. I want to hear your thoughts, because I usually just tackle this kind of topic at the 600 versus 1000 cc angle, but I started thinking about it the past few days because I really want to build a track bike. I want to have a dedicated bike for the track, and I really want to do it on a Ninja 400. You know, the only bike that I've ridden on my track was my old R1. And I'm kind of spoiled here in Austin because my closest track is Circuit of the Americas, which is an F1 MotoGP track, very long, and it has high-speed straights. But the majority of the tracks that people are riding on the weekend, just for amateur riding, are a lot smaller. A leader bike is very good on Circuit of the Americas just because of the size. It's not necessarily the best bike for people on the majority of, you know, amateur tracks. also started thinking about this because, you know, I'm looking at the Hyper Nakeds and I'm going to be getting one of those soon. I'm not really sure if I'm going to sell my R1. I think I will. I love having a sport bike, and obviously a Hyper Naked is kind of a sport bike, but a full fairing sport bike. So I don't know. I kind of still want to have it in the stable, but I'm sure my decision will become a little bit more clear once I have a Hyper Naked. But yeah, changed my mind. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Can't wait to show you guys our new house. I don't think I mentioned, but we are under contract on a new house. We're gonna be closing end of June. Gonna get to do a whole new garage build. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave your comments and thoughts down below. Use the code MOVING40 on my website, Motonosity.com. Get you guys some merch at a discount. Otherwise, you guys have been awesome. I've been Motonosity. Remember, life's better with horsepower. Keep life lived. And I'll see you guys in the next one.